If I'm snuggled up in there and I'm online, I'm buying something, and I gotta get up out of my comfortable position to buy something from you, I'm not doing it. I'm gonna go somewhere else, and I am not the only one.
We getting money, money, money. Gwen Jimmere sharing gems with her getting money, money, money. Getting a line, growing money and time. Getting money, money, money. It's your life, trying to give more life. Getting money, money, money.
Now, I'm going to give you 4 reasons why your sales are slow. And this video is going to be one of those that you want to bookmark, make it your favorite, save it, come back to it, whatever you got to do. Now, I'm going to give you 4 reasons. And number 3 is possibly the most vital one. So you definitely want to make sure that you stick around to get to number 3. Okay, so let's get right into this topic. All right, 4 reasons why your sales are slow. Number 1, you are inconsistent. Consistency is literally the key to success in everything in life. Everything. There is nothing that you can be inconsistent at and still win ongoingly with. You can't. You have to be consistent. And that goes for diet and exercise. That goes for building a business. That goes for raising children. It goes with romantic relationships. Consistency is the key. And so you are inconsistent. You are not showing up on a consistent basis regularly for your customers. They don't know when to expect you. There's a reason why TV shows occur at the same time on the same day every single week. There's a reason why church service occurs at the same time on the same day every single week. And even if we're talking about church, even Bible study, church youth groups, all of those things happen on the same day at the same time generally. Now, sometimes they may have to move stuff around, but for the most part, they occur at the same time every single week. The church service, the TV show, they don't just show up whenever they feel like it. How would you know when to find your favorite TV show if it didn't show up at the same time every week? Now, you may say, well, I have Hulu, I have Netflix, I can show up whenever. Yes, you can, but don't be petty. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying. Even if we are talking about things like Netflix or Hulu or Paramount Plus or Peacock or any of these networks or whatever that you pay monthly for, you can see the whole season at once. The show itself is still on that same network. You're not going to find something that is exclusive to Netflix one week on Netflix and then another week it's going to be on Paramount Plus, or another week it's going to be on Peacock, another week it's going to be on Hulu. It's going to be in the same place at the same location for you every single time. It is consistent. So what are you doing? You're not being consistent. If you decide that you're going to go live for your customers, which I highly suggest that you do, it's another video for another time. But if you're going live, you need to be showing up at the same time on the same day so they know when to find you. Being consistent builds trust. Think about a romantic relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, whatever. And let's say that person starts out giving you flowers every time you see him or her. Or maybe they give you compliments every single time if you're not a flower person. Just work with me here. So let's say you see them once a week. You're not living together. You're in the beginning dating stages. You start seeing them once a week. They give you these flowers and these compliments every single time you see them. And you start to trust that they're going to continue that. You start to have an expectation that that person is going to give you flowers every time. And you might even say, and this has actually happened to me, every time I see you, you give me flowers. Are you going to continue to do this? Don't start something you can't keep up. Because you started to like this thing, you started to expect it, and then let's say 4 months down the line, suddenly they stop. At first you're like, I really like the flowers, I really like the compliments, like why'd he stop? Why'd you stop doing that? You start to kind of be like, oh, maybe it's just a fluke. Then another month goes by and you still haven't gotten these flowers, you still haven't gotten these compliments anymore. And now you're starting to be like, I don't know. You started doing something I really, really liked, and now you're not doing it anymore. I don't know what to think. Then let's say the next month they bring it back. They start giving you the flowers and stuff again. Then another month goes by, 2 months go by, flowers are coming, compliments are coming. Suddenly they stop again. Now you're not sure what to believe. You're not sure if the flowers are going to come or if they're not going to come, because now you don't really trust, because you don't have the expectation that you're going to get these flowers every single time that you see them. Are you following me? You tracking here? Eventually, if this becomes an on and off kind of thing, inconsistent, you don't really know when you're going to get them, if you're going to get them, if you should expect them. And at a certain point, you don't even start to anticipate them anymore, because your trust in those flowers coming is gone because he or she has been inconsistent with you. It's the same thing when your customers are dealing with you. If you are not consistently showing up, if you're not sending those emails once a week, if you're not sending that text message marketing to them once a week, if you're not posting that blog, whatever it is that you've chosen to do as your way of showing up for your customers, if you're not doing that that on a consistent basis, they have the same feeling that you would have should those flowers stop coming over time. In the beginning, they're like, oh, I really like hearing from him or her. I really like that they show up on live. I really like that I get this email. I really like that I get this sale. I really like that I get this blog post that adds value to my life. They're consistently expecting this from you because you have been consistent. You've been doing your job. But let's say some time goes by and then you start to fall off. Then the customers are like, I really liked that. And now they stopped, but okay. Then you'll start getting emails. Hey, customer service, are you still doing such and such? What happened? Now you've got to answer that question. Then you start to get to a point where you aren't doing it at all and they're not even sure if you're going to do it anymore. And then you start to see your sales slowing down because you are no longer trustworthy because you have become inconsistent. Consistency builds trust. You have to have the like, know, and trust factor in your business in order for sales to happen consistently and easily. I can tell you something that we do every single year. We only do it once a year at my company, Naturalicious, which is my hair care brand. It's one thing that we do every single year. Our customers know it's coming. They expect it because for the past 7 years, we've done it without fail. And that is we do a 12 days of Christmas sale. Now, they also know that we don't do many sales throughout the year. So they don't expect a lot of sales throughout the year. They don't expect to get a bunch of discounts, but they know come Christmas time, 12 days of Christmas is going to happen. And they start emailing us in October, November, asking about 12 days of Christmas. Hey, are you guys still doing 12 days of Christmas? I love 12 days of Christmas. I can't wait for 12 days of Christmas. All these sorts of emails start coming in because over the past 7 years, we've been consistent in telling them without even verbally saying, we've been showing them that 12 days of Christmas is going to happen. And for that reason, 12 days of Christmas is our absolute biggest and best sales time of any time throughout the year. It's bigger than Black Friday for us because even though we do Black Friday, 12 days of Christmas is a huge deal for us. It's 12 days with a different deal every single day. They know this. They also know that the 12 days of Christmas sale is going to have one different deal every day. They know that each deal expires at midnight because we've been consistent with that. They're not expecting like, oh, I can just get it tomorrow. I can get it on day 4. No, the day one deal is the day one deal. If you don't get the day one deal, it might be sold out or it might already be expired, whichever comes first. They know that because we've been consistent. Now, consistency can work against you also. And I want to make sure that this point is well heard because if you are someone who is constantly running sales and you're wondering why you cannot make any sales if you don't have something discounted, it's because you've been consistent with running sales. You have thought to yourself like, oh, in order for someone to purchase from me, I've got to offer a discount. So now your customers have gotten to the point where they've been trained to expect and trust that you're going to constantly run a sale. So if something is not on sale, they're like, well, I know she or he is going to make a sale pretty soon because they always have a sale. So I'll just wait for the sale. And now you can't make any money without something being discounted, even though it costs you the same amount to make or provide that item or service. You don't want to be at a point where you're only making sales if you have discounts, because then you're discounting your hard work, your energy, your cost of goods sold, your money that you're putting into it, your payroll you have to pay. Payroll doesn't get discounted just because you gave a discount to a client or a customer. You still got to make full payroll. You still got to make full rent at your building. You still got to make the full payment on your light bill. So you can't, or you shouldn't, constantly be running sales. So again, consistency can work in your favor. It can also work against you. You don't want to be at a point where it's working against you. But either way, inconsistency will build lack of trust. The only time somebody makes a purchase is when they trust. Think about if you go to a store, they have an item that you really, really want, but they have a bad reputation. They've lost your package before. They've overcharged you. They've double charged you. They've done all these things. You're not buying from them anymore. It doesn't matter how good the sale is. It doesn't matter how good the item is. You're going to go find that item somewhere else or completely forego the item altogether because you don't trust that person and you don't trust that company anymore. Just like you wouldn't make a purchase from somewhere you didn't trust, your customers are not making purchases with people and companies that they don't trust. So you have to be consistent. The second reason why your sales are slow is that you are not subscribing to the right radio station. You might be like, what? Let me break it down for you. I like to say that every person, you, me, anybody else in the world, subscribes to the same radio station. And that is WIIFM. You know what that stands for? It stands for What's in It For Me. What's in it for me? If I don't know what's in it for me, I ain't making a purchase. I'm not buying because there has been no value provided or marketed to me. What you're doing is not focusing on WIIFM. You must focus on it. We can even call it WIIFM, okay? You must focus on WIIFM. WIIFM is your friend. You have to focus on it. If you don't show your customer what is in it for them when they make the purchase from you, you will have slow sales. They need to know why they should be downloading your lead magnet, why they should be buying your service or your product, why they should follow you on IG or TikTok or Facebook or wherever you want them to follow you. What kind of transformation are you providing to them? That is what they want to know. If there is no transformation, there is no purchase. The transformation can be physical or it can be subconscious. Here's a true story. One of my really good friends from high school is getting married in Mexico. I have several dresses in my closet to choose from. Tons. I happened to be online on one of the social media apps and I got an ad and this dress popped up on this ad and I instantly was like, oh my gosh, I need to get this dress for this wedding. Why am I buying that dress? I already have tons of dresses in my closet. Tons. Very suitable dresses. Actually, beautiful dresses to wear to this wedding. Why did I buy the dress that I saw online? What kind of transformation did I expect to get? What was in it for me? I didn't buy the dress just because they provided an ad and I wanted to support their business. Like, it sounds good to say like, oh, I want to support, but that's not why we buy stuff. We buy stuff because we want to know what's in it for us. Even if we do buy something with the intention only of supporting that person or that business, it's still, what's in it for us is still that we feel good about doing it. We still have the what's in it for me factor. If we don't feel good about it, if it doesn't make us feel special, if it doesn't make us feel like we've done some kind of good, we're still not going to do it. We have to have what's in it for me. Okay, so back to the story. Going to this wedding in Mexico for my friend. I have tons of dresses in my closet. I see a dress online. I'm like, ooh. Now, I didn't go looking for this dress. This dress found me. I'm online on Instagram. I'm like, ooh, this is super cute. I go to the website and I ponder it for a few minutes and then I go ahead and I make the purchase. I made the purchase because I know I'm going to be there with a bunch of people I went to high school with. And I'm like, ooh, I got to look good. I already got dresses in the closet. They look good on me. But this dress, I was like, that's gonna be it right there. I'm gonna come in slaying, honey. I'm gonna walk through them doors. Now, I ain't gonna outdo the bride. Never would do that. Never do that. But outside the bride, honey, I'm gonna be popping. And that is why I bought the dress. I'm just being transparent. I could sit here and say like, oh, I really like the dress and it was really cute. Like, no, I wanted to slay. I wanted to impress. I wanted to feel beautiful. I wanted to feel good. And not only that, but when I saw the dress, I was like, oh, this is actually a dress I could wear to the wedding because it's a wedding in Mexico and it's going to be hot, obviously, and, you know, really sunny. So it's a dress that is suitable for that. But it's also a dress that I would wear just out on a date. It's a dress that I would wear maybe hanging out with my friends, depending on where we're going. So the dress also has multiple uses for me. That's what's in it for me. Anytime you make a purchase, you are always subconsciously asking yourself what's in it for you. This microphone right here. When I bought this microphone, why did I buy this microphone over a different microphone? Well, one, I like the cost of it, right? So it worked for my pocket and it worked for my budget that I really wasn't interested in buying a $2,000 microphone. I also bought it not only because of that, I also bought it because I like the colors. I like how it changes colors. It fits my personality. It's something that I gravitated towards. That's what's in it for me. I could have chose from a million different microphones, but I chose this one because I like the aesthetics of it. I like how it looks. It makes me feel good. That's what's in it for me. Every time you make a purchase, you are focusing on, whether you realize it or not, what's in it for you. Even when you donate money philanthropically and you're giving money to a cause that you believe in or a charity, what's in it for you is that it makes you feel good. Also, what's in it for you is you get a tax write-off. There's always the what's in it for me factor. So your customers are no different. If you are not positioning your service or your product to let them know what's in it for them, your sales are going to be slow. At every single touch point, you should be providing them with information as to what's in it for them. When you joined this video today, what did I say? I said, I'm going to tell you 4 reasons why your sales are slow. And if you're watching this video, it's more than likely that you are a business owner or an aspiring business owner. And so what's in it for you to even watch me right now? What's in it for you is that you don't want your sales to be slow. You don't want to lose money. You don't want to waste your time. You want to make money and you want to learn how to prevent not making any money. So what's in it for you is that I'm teaching you what not to do so you don't make those mistakes. And that's why you're watching. If there is no what's in it for you, then you're not watching. I could sit here and I could talk all day to you about my day. I could talk to you about my son, the really cute thing he did at basketball yesterday. I could talk to you about my dad who, you know, is about to turn 83 and I'm having a surprise party for him. You don't care about none of that. Because you don't know any of those people. You don't know my dad. You don't know my son. If I'm sitting here just talking to you about that, you have zero interest because there's nothing in it for you. I'm very clear that everything I do must be rooted in what's in it for my client, my customer, my watcher, my viewer, my audience, my community. You must do the same thing as well. So stop focusing on what you want and start thinking about what they want, what they need. More than not, your customers will tell you what they want. You have to be listening and you have to implement it. Here's a good example. At my company, Naturalicious, we make hair care products. And so we have a salon-sized cream, right? So the cream comes in it's a hair cream, it's a curl cream. It's called Step 2 is what we call it. The cream comes in different sizes. So it comes in a smaller size. It also, once a year, we sell it in a very large salon size. So it's like 32 ounces. That cream has a pump. Now we used to sell it in a jar, but recently we started selling it with a pump on it. I was in our community just a couple days ago and I noticed that someone said, hey, do you guys ever have issues with the pump on Step 2? And somebody else was like, Step 2 pump never works for me. Somebody else was like, oh yeah, here's a picture of mine that broke. Right? The pump broke. The product was fine, but the pump broke. So I could continue to have my team make this product with the pump, or I could listen to my customer who none of them emailed me. They're posting in our little community. Well, it's not a little community. It's got like 13,000 people in it. But nevertheless, they're posting in the community asking for help from each other about this pump. I'm noticing there's a number of people, not a whole lot, but enough where people are saying this pump is a problem. So what's in it for them? If I don't give them what they want, they will no longer buy that product. And that product is a very high value for them, the product itself, but they won't buy it if that pump isn't working. So people were saying, I actually liked it in the jar. I would love if they went back to the jar. Boom! I'm going back to the jar. I ain't stupid. I'm going back to the jar. Because that's what my community is telling me. They want ease of use. They want a product that works for their hair. Yes, no one's complaining about the product. Everybody loves the product. The issue was the pump. So what do I tell my team? I immediately called my operations manager and I said, hey, moving forward, this product don't come in a pump no more. We are putting it in a jar because that's what they're saying. So again, focus on what's in it for them. Everything that you do. If they open an email from you, again, this goes back to being consistent. If you're sending emails and you're consistently sending emails that have no value for them, they're not going to open it. So not only are you not focused on WIIFM, WIIFM, what's in it for them, what's in it for me, not only are you not focused on that, but you're also consistently sending them something that's going to push them away. You don't want that. You want to be consistent with high value items all the time. If this content is valuable to you, I need you to do me a favor. I know we go together right now, but we need to get married. Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications because I know you are not going to want to miss another episode of the Get Money Show because every single week I'm coming at you with super high value content that's going to help you build your business and get to the money faster. So make sure you hit the bell for notifications, subscribe to this channel, and also make sure that you like and that you comment also. It helps the algorithm. It helps other people because Lord knows we can all get to the money. There is no shortage of abundance in this world. Don't be a gatekeeper. Now, I told you that number 3 was going to be the big one. This is the one that most people don't think about. You might think about being consistent. You might think about what's in it for them, but you probably don't think about this. And this one is so vital. If you have a pen and a paper, I need you to write this down, put it in your phone, in the notes, do something because this is the biggest one. Number 3 is you are more focused on tools than strategy. Most people, when they start to market their business, they start to say, oh, I'm going to post on Instagram every day. And they're going to be consistent, right? They're going to do number 1. I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to post on Instagram every day. Or I'm going to send out an email once a week. Or I'm going to send out an email 3 times a week. Or I'm going to send out a text message twice a week, twice a month. Whatever it is that they're going to do. They might be consistent, but they've built their strategy around the tool. They've built their audience around the tool. And then a tool in this case is a platform such as Instagram, such as an email marketing provider. It's usually social media that people build their business or plan around. Or influencers, for example, or even ads. These are all tools for the sake of this conversation. They're building their strategy, and it's not really a true strategy. It's really they're just like, hey, I'm going to market this, and this might be you, okay? And if it is, no shame. If it's you, let me know in the comments. Let me know that you have done this, but I want you to listen to me because this is going to change the whole game for you. You should never be reliant upon a single platform for your money. Just like a financial portfolio, you've got to diversify. Think about this. Now, it might be day dating myself depending on how old you are looking at this, okay? Back in like 2005-ish, what was the leading social media platform? I'm gonna give you like 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. It was MySpace. MySpace was bigger than Facebook in 2005. Where's MySpace now? Is Tom even still on MySpace? Like, really? MySpace is done if you're older. What was the dominant social media platform? We weren't even calling it social media at that time. What was the dominant social media platform for multicultural audiences back in like 2000? For Black people, it was Black Planet. For Latinos and Latinas, it was Mahente. And for the Asian community, it was Asian Avenue. Some of you are like, what? What is that? What is Black Planet? What is Mahente? What is Asian Avenue? You may not have even heard of it because it's gone. They don't exist anymore. Well, I think they might exist. Maybe, but literally nobody's on there. MySpace, Black Planet, Black Planet. I have some stories about Black Planet, but anyway, we're not gonna get into that. But that's a different. Maybe I'll make a YouTube short about Black Planet. Anyway, Black Planet, Mahente, Asian Avenue, MySpace. MySpace was for everybody. It didn't matter what color you were. Like, everybody was on MySpace, right? They don't exist to an extent where anybody's really using them anymore. For anyone whose marketing strategy surrounded MySpace, there were a lot of people who had music on MySpace and they were like independent artists and they were trying to build their audience and all that sort of stuff. They would put it on MySpace and a lot of times they would blow up. Some people got record deals off of MySpace, but that was their sole source of marketing. And then MySpace goes away. Now what? You have built no audience that you control or that you have access to beyond MySpace. Facebook, Instagram, you don't own that audience. All your followers, they not yours. That's Instagram's following. They're just letting you borrow them. Those Facebook followers you have, those are Facebook's followers. They're just letting you borrow them. You have no way of contacting them if you have not built up your own email list or your own text list. And even with the email platforms, they kind of come and go. They ebb and flow, right? Some of them are more popular today than they will be tomorrow. Some were more popular years ago than they are today. And if you only solely focus on like, oh, I'm just going to use Constant Contact, which is the email marketing provider, or I'm only, my whole strategy surrounds Klaviyo, which is what we use. My whole strategy surrounds Kajabi or whatever one of these email marketing platforms or email marketing providers that you have. What happens when they go down? What happens if they no longer have funding and they have to close their doors? What happens when that happens? It's a scary thought. You cannot build your business strategy around a tool because those tools are not yours. You do not own them. Think about Facebook ads. I'm telling you, we would run Facebook ads and we were getting like 32x return on ad spend. That means that for every dollar we spent, we made $32. It was crazy. So if we spent like $1,000, we was making $32,000. It was nuts, right? It only made sense to do it when Facebook ads were in their infancy, when they were just starting. But what happened? Facebook changed the rules. Facebook said, oh, we're going to make it harder for you to make sales, which doesn't make any sense to me. Why you would want people to do something and then make it harder for them to make money at it. That's weird, but I have to put in a call to Mark Zuckerberg and find out what's going on with that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The point is that Facebook changed the rules. They made it much harder to make sales. So my company went from doing 32x return on ad spend to eventually doing like 10x return on ad spend, to eventually doing 4x return on ad spend, to eventually we weren't even making money on ads anymore. We were actually losing money. And that's when we were like, F these ads, right? So I'm telling you, you don't own it. Zuckerberg owns Facebook. His investors own Facebook. You do not own it. You have no control over what they're going to do, what they're going to allow, if they decide to change the rules, why they decide to change the rules, who knows? If my whole strategy surrounded running Facebook ads, what would I do when it no longer made sense to run ads? If I'm losing money, would I pour more gas on it and spend more money only to lose more money? No, that doesn't make any sense. But that's what so many companies have had to do because they don't have a strategy beyond that tool. Their whole strategy was Facebook ads. Or think about this in terms of Instagram. How many people have lost their entire Instagram account? How many times have you heard about someone with hundreds of thousands of followers, millions of followers who have lost their entire account for some weird reason. Maybe someone hacked their account, or maybe Instagram determined that they had bought their followers instead of actually getting them or attracting them organically, which may or may not even be true, because I actually had my account, my Instagram account, not canceled, but frozen, because I was going through my Instagram account because I was on this whole like new year, new me thing at one point, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna just delete everybody whose pages don't resonate with me anymore. I'm just gonna delete all these. And I was just going through deleting. Instagram, for some reason, thought that I was a bot and that I had paid this bot that they thought it was to add new people to my account, even though I was deleting them, which was so weird. And they're like, contact support. What support? What Instagram support? Like, is there a phone number? If you know a phone number, please let me know, because I could not find one. I did not have my Instagram account for like 2 months because Instagram thought I was a bot, even though I wasn't. I was doing this on my own. Let's say that was actually my business account. Can you imagine if my whole strategy surrounded Instagram and I'm just making posts, getting likes, telling people to click the link in the bio, I'm sending people DMs and all that stuff. It's all through Instagram. I don't have any way to contact them outside of Instagram if that's my strategy, right? And then my Instagram account goes down for 2 months. I'm not making any sales for 2 months because Instagram was tripping. So again, put some insurance in place. Do not build your whole plan to make money in your business on a single platform. It is not safe. It's not safe out in these streets, okay? Make sure that you have other ways for people to get to you. You have other ways that you own to get to your customers. So here's my tip. And I've said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna reiterate it over and over and over because this is so key and so vital, okay? Make sure that you are collecting emails and phone numbers, not just emails. Emails are great, but as I've said before, 17 to 28% of emails get opened, but 95% of text messages get opened within the first 3 minutes of receiving it. That 17 to 28% of emails that get opened, they don't even get opened in the first 5 minutes. They get opened, over the course of a day, maybe 2 days, maybe 3 days, right? Text messages get opened 95% of the time within the first 3 minutes. Even if the tools change, even if the rules of the tool change, even if the platform dies and goes away, your strategy stays the same. You just find another tool. So if your tool is to post online and let's say Instagram goes down, I know it seems so foreign right now, but it seemed foreign in 2005 that MySpace would ever go away. It seemed foreign in 2000 that Black Planet would ever disappear. Like, we thought Black Planet was gonna live forever. And clearly it didn't. Technology changes so fast and so rapidly, you never know who's gonna be on top. I mean, quite frankly, from what my son tells me, Facebook is for the old people. Instagram is for the millennials and some Gen Zers, and then you have TikTok, which is for all the Gen Zers, right? That's what my son tells me. He's a Gen Zer, by the way. And who would have thought back in 2011, Facebook was going to be known as the old people social media platform? Like, that's where you go when you're targeting, senior citizens. Who would have known that? I'm definitely on all the platforms. I just got on TikTok though, honestly, so go follow me on TikTok. I just got on there. Like, who would have thought that the way that things go would constantly be changing for these platforms? So if your plan stays the same, if you have an actual plan in place for how you're going to market, then you're just using the tools to make the strategy happen, as opposed to using a tool and building a strategy around a tool that you have zero control over. Instead, again, the best thing for you to do is to create the strategy and use the tools to make that strategy happen. Let's use an analogy of like working out. Let's say you want to work out, you want to get into shape, you want to build muscle. If your strategy is, I'm going to work out 3 days a week, I'm only going to eat protein, vegetables, some fruits here and there, and no carbs. I'm just throwing this out there, so don't none of y'all who are fitness buffs come for me. I'm just throwing it out there. I have no idea, right? I have no idea what like the best strategy would be for building muscle. I don't know. But let's just say that's the plan, right? That's your strategy. Your strategy is to eat protein, vegetables, a little bit of fruit, and no carbs. That's your strategy, and you're going to work out 3 times a week. Now, the gym is the tool. But if for whatever reason you decide you don't like that gym, or if your gym membership has to get canceled for some reason, or if that gym shuts down, you just go to another gym. You're not stuck with that gym. If your strategy is solely surrounding gym A, let's say it's Lifetime Fitness. Let's say that Lifetime Fitness, for whatever reason, closes its doors in your city. Now you don't have a gym to go to. Let's say they had specific equipment that only Lifetime Fitness had and the other gyms in your area didn't. Well, if your whole plan was to go with whatever Lifetime had, now you don't have a plan anymore. Now you're not building your muscle and getting in shape like you want to. But that if you're like, well, I'm just going to work out, well, Lifetime closes, I'll just go over here here to LA Fitness, or I'll go to Planet Fitness, or I'll go to Anytime Fitness, or I'll go to the park. I'll work out at home. I can do all of these things. Regardless of the tool, the strategy stays the same. It doesn't matter because now you're flexible. Now you can move. Now you're malleable. You are not beholden to the tool, which in this case was that specific gym. You can go wherever you want. So same thing with strategy for your business. You build a strategy. I'm going to email once a week. I'm going to post on the social media platforms I have access to every day. I'm going to send a text message out every other week. I'm going to do all these things. That's your strategy. Okay. If your email service provider kicks you out for some reason, let's say something weird and wacky happens and like you're locked out of your account, as long as you have been downloading your emails on a regular basis, which is something you should be doing, download them, keep them in a safe place, Google Cloud, Dropbox, whatever, because who knows what's going to happen with these things. Make sure you're saving those email addresses and those phone numbers. You can just move to a different platform. You're not stuck at that one. If they shut down, if their website goes down, if they no longer have investors, if the owner, passes away, God forbid, and everything shuts down, who knows? You are not beholden to that platform. You still have your contacts, so you can just move them to a different location. You can move them from Klaviyo to Kajabi. You can move them from Kajabi to Constant Contact. You can move from Constant Contact to, whoever else you want to go to, whatever email platform there is. If for whatever reason you get locked out of your Instagram account, you're already posting on other platforms. So, okay, well, Facebook or Instagram doesn't work for me anymore. Let's not even go extreme. Let's not even say that the platform it locks you out. Let's just say it's not converting for you anymore. People aren't buying from there. Okay, cool. People aren't buying from Instagram, but I can see that they are buying from Facebook. So let's just go over here to Facebook. Or I can see that they're not buying from Facebook. So let's go over here to YouTube Shorts. Whatever it is, it's the strategy. The strategy stays the same regardless of the tool. And this is so big. This is something I really, really need you to spend some time on, because most of you watching are going to have built your business plan and strategy and marketing strategy around the tools that you have, rather than building the strategy and allowing your tools to back into that. I want to take this time really quickly to let you know that I have created a 56-page guide to helping your business thrive this year. I want to make sure that you are set up for success, that you don't have any reason to falter. So all you need to do to get it is 100% totally free. I spent about 3 months writing this. It's 56 pages. It's ready for you to go. You can get it today and download it and start reading it right away. If this content and this type of content and my channel in general is valuable to you, this book is going to be highly, highly, highly needed in your life. So just click the link in the show notes and you can download it right away. It'll be sent to you immediately. It's the Business Survival Guide, okay? It's going to help you find money in your business, help you save money in your business so that you can get to the money faster and truly live the life that you want with the time and money that you've been provided through doing so. Number 4, and the final reason today as to why your sales are slow, is because you make it too hard to pay you. It's too hard. It's too complicated. We like ease of use. Customers like ease. If you're gonna make my life harder, I'm just gonna go somewhere else. It's just too many other places to get what you have, even though you probably think that what you have is so unique and so different, and it might be, but there's variations of what you offer. There's almost nothing new under the sun, okay? So if I have a hair product that I sell, well, there's other products that provide nice looking hair as well. They may not have the same ingredients as mine. They may not even have the same effect as mine. Mine may be more effective, but if I make it too complicated for people to buy, they ain't buying from me. They're gonna go somewhere else. You're making it too hard to buy from you. I should not have to be clicking all around. It should be very, very easy for me to click the add to cart button, go to my cart, go to checkout. I shouldn't be having to answer a whole bunch of questions, go through a whole bunch of stuff. It's just too much. It's too much. I want it to be easy for me. Go to checkout and buy my thing and go on with my life. So many websites I go to are just too difficult. It's too complicated. Your website should be super simple. The best websites, just take an inventory of some of the best websites that you go to and which ones you buy from most quickly. Who makes it easy to buy? Amazon makes it easy to buy. And I really hate using Amazon as an example because Amazon has really done some good things and also some not so good things for small business in terms of creating expectancies from the consumer. So that's a whole different video for a different day. But Amazon is a great example of someone who's made it easy. They've also made it easy to buy more. So if I want to buy, say, a pen, and I go on Amazon and I look for pens going to show up. Before I even get to checkout, they're going to offer me, hey, do you also want a notebook? So they're going to offer me a notebook. And likely, if I'm in the market for a notebook, or even if I'm not, I'm likely to actually click the add to cart button for that. They make it easy to make multiple sales. They also make it easy for me to check out. My credit card information is already saved. My address is already saved in there. I easily click one button and it's I check out. It takes me no time to check out from Amazon. Think about other websites. And Amazon's not the only website that makes it easy like that. There's a lots of websites that do this. I try to make it as easy as possible on my website for Naturalicious. Also, this is a big one. When they are at checkout, let's say you do all the right things and you get them to checkout, okay? You get to checkout and you don't offer options that don't require me to go get up from my seat that I'm sitting in and go get my credit card. I'm not buying from you. There's a section of my sofa or my sectional in my living room, and it's like this one little corner, and it's the most comfortable area in the whole house. If I'm snuggled up in there and I'm online, I'm buying something, and I gotta get up out of my comfortable position to buy something from you, I'm not doing it. I'm gonna go somewhere else, and I am not the only one. I am the average customer. Average customer is not going to go through all of that. They're gonna find somewhere else, but they're gonna go on Amazon. They're gonna go somewhere else. They just are. When you have your customers at checkout, make it easy. Give them all the options to buy. Of course, you're gonna use the standard credit card option, but why don't you have PayPal? Do you have PayPal? I hope you have PayPal. Do you have Apple Pay? Why are so many websites lacking Apple Pay? I don't understand. Even stores, even like the grocery store near me, they don't have Apple Pay. And I'm like, and I realize it's much more expensive to have to change all the terminals over maybe, but I'm like, why don't you have Apple Pay? Like if I accidentally forget my wallet at home, which is just down the street, I can't buy my groceries. So now I gotta go home and I'm probably not coming back. You shouldn't be forgetting your wallet at home, but sometimes I do. I just did it, a couple months ago and I'm like, dang, I forgot my wallet. I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back. I'm going home. I'll go another day. Maybe I'll realize I don't even really need it. So make it easy. Put PayPal at checkout. Put Apple Pay at checkout. If you are selling online, there's no reason for you not to have Apple Pay. Every sales platform allows Apple Pay. Do you not have Apple Pay? Please have Apple Pay, okay? We're moving to a cashless society. Whether people want to believe it or not, it's the way it is. We're moving to a society where our credit cards are on our phones. We no longer have to pull it out. We no longer have to type in the numbers. Everything is saved in a cloud somewhere. We're moving that way. Nobody wants to have to get up and go get their card and go through all that stuff and type it in, because who remembers their credit card number? Type all that information in. Like, no, make it easy. Also, at checkout, do you have Afterpay? Do you have, if you're on Shopify, do you have Shop Pay? Do you have an option for people to be able to buy today but pay later? So the way that these services work, Shop Pay on Shopify, Afterpay, which is available on multiple platforms, these options like this allow you to be able to sell to a customer who may not have the money in the beginning or may not want to spend the money in the beginning. So there is no credit check. There is no interest. It's not a credit. It's simply like digital layaway. So again, dating myself, for those of us who are old enough to remember layaway before credit cards really like took over and layaway went away everywhere almost. Layaway was a service where you would basically say, hey, I want this notebook. Usually it would be for a more expensive item. Let's say it was a gaming system. You want to buy your kid a gaming system for Christmas. So you would go and you would get the gaming system. You would literally walk into the back of the store. They had a whole layaway department. You would give it to them and you would come in and you would pay every week, every 2 weeks, every month, whatever the setup was. And you would pay on it until you paid it off. And once you paid it off, then you got it. You could take it home and give it to your child. That's how layaway worked. There was no credit involved. There was no interest involved. It was simply a payment plan. What Afterpay and Shop Pay and others like it allow you to do is the same thing, except the benefit of it is that for the customer, they don't have to wait. They don't have to wait until they pay it off to get it. They get it right away. So let's say they have usually in four payments. So it's usually every 2 weeks. So again, on average, when everybody gets paid. So every 2 weeks when you get paid. Somebody wants to buy something from you. Let's say it costs $100. They don't want to spend the $100 today, or they don't have the $100 to spend today. Maybe they don't want to use a credit card, or they don't have a credit card, or what have you. So instead, they use Shop Pay or Afterpay or something like it. They will pay $25 today, and then 2 weeks later, the platform, Afterpay or Shop Pay, will then charge them the other $25. 2 weeks after that, they'll charge another $25. 2 weeks after that, they'll charge them the final $25, and they will have paid off their item that they purchased from you. And so you're actually going to go ahead and you're going to ship it right away. Well, you may be thinking like, well, I don't want to ship it with no guarantee that I'm not going to get paid all my money. No worries, because the service provider, the Shop Pay or the Afterpay, they're going to pay you up front. They're going to front you the money. They're going to give you your whole $100 up front, and they're going to deal with the payments with the customer on the back end. You don't have to worry about it. So it's a win-win. There's no reason not to have this on your website. There are so many extra sales that you will make solely from having that on your website. Because again, a lot of people don't have it in the moment. They got to wait for payday or what have you, or they simply just don't want to spend the money. You know, if they're like, well, if I can, for $100 purchase, if I can only spend $25 today and break it up over the course of 4 pay periods and not have to pay any extra interest and not have my credit, you know, involved within any sort of way, why not, right? That's what some people would think. And so give them that option. Make it easy to make sales. Don't make sales difficult. The sales part of your business should be the easiest thing. It should be the smoothest thing. On your website, there shouldn't be a whole lot of clicking around to do just to get to the page with the products or the services. Like, why do I want to do that? You know what else I don't like? And I understand why some service providers do it, but I don't like when I go to a service provider's website and they don't have pricing. I want to know how much this costs beforehand. I don't want to have a discovery call. I don't want to have a call with you beforehand. I don't want to have feel pressure to make a decision on the phone. I want to know how much it is before I waste your time or my time. If I know it's not in my budget, then it's like, well, I'm not going to even worry about contacting them. Or if it is in my budget, maybe I am. I probably am. But I really don't like that. And I understand why a lot of you guys who have services do this. But for me, I always feel like I'm going to be getting a different price. I always feel like once people find out that I'm a business owner, which has happened several times, that I'm an entrepreneur and they find out what my company is and they start to Google me or Google my business, then it's like, oh, the price is different. Oh, well, your price is actually, you know, $6,000 instead of, it might have actually only been like $3,000, you know? Even if that doesn't happen, that's how I feel. That's what I feel is going to happen. And if I got to contact you for pricing, I'm probably not going to contact you at all. I'm just going to find another provider who actually has pricing because they made it easy. They made it easy to make a decision. They made it easy for me to be able to say, oh, this works for me. Or even if their pricing is more than I want to pay and I'm on their website, at least I know their pricing. And then I can say, well, you know what? I can see why they cost more or why they cost what they cost. I'm gonna contact them anyway. But if I have no pricing to go off of, I'm not contacting you. And so make it easy. Stop making things difficult. Once a person has decided to buy, it should be as smooth and as seamless and as simple as possible. Stop making things hard. Also, on your website, all your buttons need to work. You need to take an inventory every couple of months and make sure every single button on your website works. Every single link on your website works. If I go to your website and I click it and it takes me to a 404 error page, I'm like, they're not even on their P's and Q's. Like, I don't really know about this. It's inconsistent. We talked about inconsistency earlier. It's inconsistent. It kind of makes the customer feel like, if they aren't even checking to make sure that their website is working, how do I know that I'm gonna get my product or they're gonna deliver my service on time? Psychologically, this is what they think. And you may think like, oh, why would they think that? It's just a 404 error page. It's just a broken link. Yeah, but we are judged for those sorts of things. So make sure that you go through, because every now and then something will get broken and you won't even realize it. You won't even know it. Make sure you go through your website every, couple months, maybe every quarter, and just click everything. Make sure everything is still working, because you get that 404 error page, you're going to build distrust in your company. And again, your sales are going to be slower because now you've lost trust with the customer. All right, so that's it for today's episode. If this has been valuable for you, and I know it has, do me a favor and make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to the Get Money Show. I cannot wait to catch you on the next episode. I highly, highly, highly hope this is valuable for you. And don't forget to go ahead and click the link in the show notes so you can get that small business survival guide that I made for you. Again, it's 56 pages. It's 100% free. Won't cost you a dime, but it will make you a whole lot of money. All right, so make sure you go get that. And I will catch you on the next episode. Bye.